time for another round of Empties and Trashies. So, Empties, products I have used up, and Trashies, products I could use no more and are moving on to the circular graveyard in the corner of the room. Okay? Okay. So, my Empties philosophy, I just show you makeup, skin, and hair stuff, although I have no hair stuff today. Because if I included like the peripheral stuff like toothpaste and deodorant, which I don't really want to talk about anyway, but if I went into everything else like that, it would take way too long and it would be way too much trash accumulating here in my little office. So, side notes, before I begin, I am dressed kind of casually. I usually try to, like, I don't know, spruce things up for my videos. But, yeah, you be the judge of that. But I'm just wearing a little hoodie that I just got yesterday at Target and I'm kind of in love with. Let me see if I can stand up. It says, I love California, West Coast, and I am a California girl. I grew up in Southern California, really close to the beach, and at a time like this, in the like dregs of winter, I saw this sweatshirt and I was like, I want to be a California girl. So that's what that's about. Let's do this. I'm going to start with makeup. I started with skincare last time, so let's create some symmetry and start with the makeup. Alright, this is a good one. This is funny because a YouTuber who I absolutely adore, Elle from L is for Living. I love this lady. I love her videos. She's so smart and kind and just full of information. But she just did a video on best and worst of Physicians Formula, and this is one of the products that she really, really liked. And this is, for me, a trashy, one that I couldn't finish. And the thing is, well, let me tell you, it is the Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Airbrushing Pressed Powder in Translucent. Over the summer, I featured this in at least one video, and I really, really liked it. I just use it as a final setting powder. I liked that it does have SPF 30, and yeah, I liked it. And you know, come to think of it, maybe it was because it was summer and my skin wasn't as dry, but then I kept using it into the fall and I realized that it was just kind of drying me out too much, and I think I need to part with it because I have other powders. I have other translucent powders, I have my Hourglass powders, and so I don't need it to fill a hole in my life. So for me, for my very, very dry skin, I didn't like it. Or I can't use it anymore, but it is a good powder. Elle is right, it's a good product. So that's kind of a weird one, but unfortunately for me it's a trashy. Okay, I have the Maybelline Dream Lumi in Radiant. So this is the illuminating color. It's that little like pen concealer thing. I like this. It's not quite done, but it's sort of seen, it's past its prime, it's getting kind of thick and goopy, and I just don't like it as much as my NYX corrector in yellow. It's a little too pink for me. I'm having a harder time working with it, so I decided it could just go. Kind of its twin, its little twin sister here, I have the L'Oreal Magic Lumi highlighter, and same idea. I bought this one first, and this one, for me, the color just didn't work out, and I held on to it for ages. It's not, I did not use it up, but for some reason I held on to it even though the color was just wrong and it provided so little coverage. Like the Maybelline does add a little bit of coverage. I think this is good. It was just not working for me color-wise. But this was the wrong shade or something, and I liked the Maybelline one better anyway, so that's a trashy. Okay, next I have the Revlon Colorstay Gel Eyeliner. And this, oh yeah, there's like a little brush built into the lid, like a little liner brush, which is kind of usable. You know, you probably have a better brush, but that's okay. And it's a little pot, and I have it in purple. The actual color is Plum. And this is before, I bought this a long time ago, but at that time, I was not so good at using gel eyeliner. I have gotten better. I had a really hard time using it. The purple just wasn't working for me, and see, at this point I would like to try it again, but the product's just too old. It's old and it's dried out and it has to go. Next, it's time for a little three-way comparison of some felt tip liners, or at least, I don't know, liquid liners. I think this one is not technically a felt tip. So, go back and watch my last Empties video, and I compared the felt tip liner that I adore with something that should have been kind of similar, but was not at all good for me at all. Okay, I'll leave it at that. You can go back and watch. The link is below. So, I have 3 more, and in the time that I was using my favorite liner, you know, I would pick up other liners thinking they would be just as good, and, you know, if they were on sale. So, oh, and this one I even got from Ipsy. So let's start there. This is the Jessie's Girl Liquid Eyeliner. It's pretty silver pen. It looks really nice. And the tip looks excellent. This actually looks more like my favorite Milani Eye Tech Extreme than any other felt tip that I've tried. But this is a good liner, okay? But it goes on so fine. Like, how to describe it? The line it makes is so thin and fine, and you can't easily get a thicker line, or you have to draw with such precision. Like with the Milani, I can just lay it on my eye and it practically draws itself. I'm not even kidding. This one, it just takes much more skill than I can put into using an eyeliner, and it doesn't, the product doesn't flow out as well. It doesn't come out as black, and you can even sort of see it on my hand there. So I didn't finish this. I tried. It's not the worst, and I think a lot of people would like it, but it didn't quite work for me. So next, I got the Milani Eye Tech Liquid Eyeliner, and Milani has a lot of liners. Get the Eye Tech Extreme in Blackest Black. That's the one I like. But this little stubby guy, I was like, it's another Milani eyeliner. It's gonna be awesome. It actually looks a lot like the Jordana that I showed in my previous Empties video. It's just a stubby little pen, and I think if you want, I can't even get any product out of here to swatch for you, and I used this like 3 times. I mean, and it's not that old. It's really not. So I guess that's technically an empty because it does not work anymore. And it didn't put out a bold enough line, and I think it was intended for drawing a really thick graphic cat eye or something like that, but it just wasn't great. It just didn't perform. Okay, the last liner I have is the Avon Perfect Wear Eye Writer Liquid Eyeliner. And that is more of a liquid. It's like, this is the little pot of liquid, this is the little pen. That's what it looks like, and this is very wet, very black, and it runs all over the place. It's almost impossible for me to get a precise line that didn't just kind of immediately bleed all over my eye. I mean, it was nearly impossible. But the way it's designed is kind of nice. It lets you, with this little brush, just kind of get into like weird little spots that are sort of hard to reach. But the formula, maybe it's just too wet, it was not working for me. Alright, the very last makeup product is the Trish McEvoy Eye Base Essentials. This is a deluxe sample size that I got in a Total Beauty sample box type thing that I bought, and very excited to try this. I've never used anything by Trish McEvoy, and I got the impression that this was for someone with more mature eyes, and it had some sort of skincare properties. So for me, I need a primer that is not drying, that won't make me feel like spackled and crepey, and this did that to like the nth degree. Like, I thought the NARS Pro Prime was like tight and kind of spackly for someone with dry eyelids. This was even worse. So I used it once and I was like, never again. It was like my eye instantly like hardened and like contracted, and it was, I don't want to exaggerate, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. Okay, let's move on to skincare, and I'm going to try to go fast. My last Empties video was a little long. Alright, CeraVe AM Facial Moisturizing Lotion with SPF 30. This is a good product. I didn't finish it. It's a trashy. I've repurchased this. This is maybe my 3rd one, and I would use this as my final step in my morning skincare over like a serum and a moisturizer, but it does not have the most elegant finish. It's not cosmetically elegant, as they say. I would get kind of white pilling, you know, when rubbing it in, or it was just kind of a little bit of a white cast to it. So that I hate when a sunscreen gives me a white cast, and so I was just like, I'm finally just gonna let this one go. The pilling drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. People like this, give it a try. It's non-irritating, it is somewhat hydrating, but I just wanted to try other things, and I have found things I like better. Okay, I have finished a Bioderma Crealine TS H2O Solution Micellar. Like, when I first got this, I like read the whole back in French because I love using my horrendous French accent. But yeah, I like Bioderma. It's useful. I'm not going to buy it again anytime soon, although it's possible that I would in the future. I don't think this is the greatest eye makeup remover. So if you're itching to have this as an eye makeup remover, it's just not, it doesn't really work for me. It's not as strong as, you know, other specific gentle eye makeup removers. I mean, it does work, but it takes forever. What I would mostly use this for was kind of just a pre-cleanse, like the way you would use a facial cleansing cloth. So I would just wet like one of those very large cotton pads and kind of just take off that first layer of makeup. Or if I had just come from the gym, I might quickly do that, you know, before I showered or something. So I like Bioderma, but it's not like a must-have in my life. Toners, and I've definitely mentioned both of these before. One is my Exuviance, and I've already repurchased this, and I'm using it, and I'm going through it. It's a great toner. It's alcohol-free, it's their soothing toning lotion, and they have a couple different formulas, and this is the one recommended for dry skin. It balances your pH, it takes off any little extra stuff that might be lingering on your face, and it does feel soothing, it's comforting, it doesn't sting at all. I think this is an excellent toner. I also got this little travel size. I bought this at Sephora of the Clarins Lotion Tonique toning lotion with chamomile. It's alcohol free and it's for normal to dry skin. And this was a favorite in, I think, December because I was traveling and I had this with me, and somehow this is even more gentle than this, but I still prefer this. It's almost so gentle that you're like, is this really working? And it's somehow thicker, so that you have to use a lot more to really saturate a cotton pad and really like get that fresh feeling on your face. So if I were to buy a full size, it's very expensive and you have to use a lot. So I would probably not repurchase that, although it's very nice. And if you're very sensitive, it's pretty darn good. Alright, I've got like 3 more things. Boots number 7. Cleansing balm for dry and very dry skin. I know I've mentioned this in my like dry skin tips for dry skin for winter. This is a very cheap, very nice, very non-irritating cream cleanser. A balm is usually a different consistency, but they call it a balm, whatever. It's like $9, but it's always buy one get one 50% off at Ulta. And I really like it. I've repurchased this many, many times, and I have one that's going right now. It does not take off makeup. I use it in the morning when I'm not wearing any makeup. So, so it is really gentle, and it's great. I really like it. Next up, I finished, and these take like a year to finish, my Aveeno Eczema Therapy Moisturizing Cream. And the thing is, I mostly just use this on my face and neck. This is my final layer at the end of the night. It's a totally non-glamorous, yet soothing, hydrating, shielding kind of a cream, and it does not break you out. It is non-comedogenic, if I said that right, and it's incredibly soothing. I don't have eczema, but when I was so dry, I think 2 years ago, I started using this. I tried so many things, and this is truly, truly soothing. It has that whole colloidal oatmeal ingredient that just immediately calms your skin, and it kind of like locks in all the moisture so that you can sleep and not wake up feeling like a mummy. It's great stuff, and I do use it on my body if I have irritation or any kind of rash or anything like that. It's just a fantastic product. Okay, the very last product. This is sort of breaking my rule of only kind of sticking to fun stuff, but I'm going to mention this very briefly. Q-Tips Precision Tips. I use these, I love these. I don't know if everyone else does though. So if I'm wrong and you're like, yeah, I've been using those for years, that's awesome. But I discovered them just like maybe a year ago, and here I have one in my little jar. But see, they're just like a pointy Q-tip, and they're so great for like cleaning stuff up, mascara, and you don't have that big bulbous Q-tip edge to like get in your way. And for nails, I always use this around my nails. I just like slap on the nail polish and then I clean it up with this. So check these out, and they're kind of hard to find, and that's why I thought I'd mention it actually. Target has them and CVS has them, but sometimes it's like you have to look. And one time I found them in the baby section of CVS, and I think even here it says like, don't use this on your baby. It's pointy, like what would you do with a baby with this like pointy Q-tip? But definitely check these out, they are worth seeking out. And that is it. My Empties bag is empty. Love that. My trash is full. So thanks so much for hanging in there, and I hope this was fun and insightful and enjoyable and educational and all that good stuff. I hope you are having a great week wherever you are in the world, and that if it's not warm and sunny, you have warmth and sunshine in your life. I'm not trying to be cheesy, I really mean that, I really do. So, I really appreciate you watching my videos and giving me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful day.